Billionaire woman bet single dad couldn't last 5 minutes with her. He stayed all night. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Romance Rewind Stories. Before we dive into today's incredible story, I have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying these heartwarming tales, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. It's quick, it's free, and it's the best way to support us in bringing you more emotional romance stories. And here's something I'd love to know. Where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments below. I always enjoy seeing our amazing community from around the world. Oh, and if this story touches your heart, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps us grow and reach more people who love these kinds of tales. Now, let's get into today's story. Billionaire woman bet single dad couldn't last 5 minutes with her. He stayed all night. The charity auction was the kind of event Jagger Holt normally avoided. Black tie, champagne, people with more money than sense bidding ridiculous amounts on things they didn't need. But his sister had begged him to attend as her +1, and after 3 years of being a single father with zero social life, he'd reluctantly agreed. "Just smile and don't mention what you actually do for a living," his sister Quinn whispered as they entered the glittering ballroom. "Let them think you're mysterious." "I'm a mechanic who owns a garage," Jagger said dryly. "Not exactly mysterious." "A mechanic with biceps that could crack walnuts and a face that makes women forget their own names," Quinn corrected. "Trust me, just stand there looking broody and you'll fit right in." Jagger was about to respond when he saw her. She stood near the bar, commanding attention without even trying. Probably early 30s, with long auburn hair cascading down her back, a body-hugging emerald dress that should have been illegal, and an expression of supreme boredom as she surveyed the room like a queen surveying her kingdom. "That's Scarlett Ashcroft," Quinn whispered, following his gaze. "Steel heiress, billionaire, and according to every tabloid, the most untouchable woman in the city. Men have tried for years to get her attention. None have succeeded." "She looks bored out of her mind," Jagger observed. "She probably is. Rumor is she comes to these things out of obligation, but can't stand the pretentious small talk." Quinn grabbed his arm. "Oh God, she's looking this way. Don't make eye contact." But Jagger was already meeting Scarlett's gaze across the room. Something electric passed between them. Recognition, maybe, or challenge. Her lips curved into a smile that was equal parts amused and dangerous. Then she started walking toward them. "Oh no," Quinn muttered. "She never approaches people. What did you do?" "Existed, apparently," Jagger said as Scarlett stopped in front of them, close enough that he could smell her perfume, something dark and expensive that made his head spin. "You're new," Scarlett said, her voice like honey and smoke. "I know everyone at these tedious events, but I don't know you." "Jagger Holt," he said, extending his hand. "Quinn's brother." Scarlett's hand was soft, warm, and she held his grip just a fraction longer than necessary. "Scarlett Ashcroft. And you look like you'd rather be anywhere else." "So do you," Jagger replied honestly. Something sparked in Scarlett's eyes. Surprise, maybe, or interest. "Most people at these events try to impress me with flattery and false charm. You're not even pretending to be interested. Should I be?" Jagger asked. "You said yourself these events are tedious. Seems like we're in agreement." Scarlett laughed. A real laugh, not the polite tittering Jagger had heard from other guests all evening. "I like you. You're honest." She tilted her head, studying him with those sharp eyes. "What do you do, Jagger Holt?" "I'm a mechanic. I own a garage." He said it deliberately, waiting for the usual reaction, the subtle condescension, the loss of interest, the realization that he wasn't worth her time. Instead, Scarlett's smile widened. "A man who works with his hands. How refreshing." Her gaze traveled deliberately over him, his shoulders, his arms, back to his face. "Tell me, Jagger, are you married?" "Widowed," he said quietly. 3 years ago, I have a 6-year-old son." "I'm sorry for your loss," Scarlett said, and it sounded genuine. Then her expression turned calculating. But that means you're single. Which brings me to my proposal. You're what? Scarlett stepped closer, close enough that he could feel the heat radiating from her. I'm bored, painfully bored. Every man at this event is either married, boring, or trying too hard to impress me. But you're different. You're not intimidated by me. Should I be? Jagger asked, his voice rougher than intended. Most men are, Scarlett said. They hear billionaire and either run away or try too hard. It's exhausting. But you look at me like I'm just a woman. I find that incredibly attractive. Jagger's heart hammered. Where is this going, Scarlett? I want to make you a bet, she said, her voice dropping lower, more intimate. I bet you can't handle 5 minutes alone with me. 5 minutes of my full attention without running away or freezing up like every other man who's tried. And if I win this bet, Scarlett's smile was pure seduction, then I'll let you stay longer. Much longer. All night if you want. The implication was clear. Heat flooded through Jagger, but he kept his expression neutral. That's quite an offer. I don't make offers I don't intend to follow through on, Scarlett said. So what do you say, mechanic? Think you can handle me? Every rational part of Jagger's brain screamed that this was crazy. He was a single dad who hadn't been with anyone since his wife died. This woman was a billionaire who probably ate men like him for breakfast. This could only end badly. But the way she was looking at him, he was interesting, challenging. She actually wanted him, made rational thought impossible. Lead the way, Jagger said. Scarlett's eyes flashed with triumph and something hotter. She took his hand and led him through the ballroom, past curious stairs, to a private balcony overlooking the city. The moment the door closed behind them, the sounds of the party faded, leaving just the two of them and the glittering skyline. 5 minutes starts now, Scarlett said, leaning against the balcony railing. Impress me. What exactly am I supposed to do? Jagger asked, moving closer. Whatever you want, Scarlett said, her voice challenging. Talk to me. Make me laugh. Make me feel something other than bored. Most men freeze up at this point. They realize they're alone with me and panic. I don't panic easily, Jagger said. He stopped directly in front of her, close enough to touch but not touching. Tell me something real, Scarlett. Not the billionaire heiress version. The actual you. Scarlett blinked, clearly not expecting that. What? You said you're bored. Why? What is it you actually want that all that money can't buy? For a moment, Scarlett's mask slipped. Vulnerability flickered across her face before she controlled it. You're direct, aren't you? Life's too short for games, Jagger said. I learned that when my wife died. So, I'll ask again, what do you want? Scarlett was quiet for a long moment, studying him. Then, I want to feel I've spent so long being the steel heiress, the untouchable businesswoman, the woman who doesn't need anyone. I've forgotten what it's like to actually want something, to want someone. And you think you want me? Jagger asked, his voice low. I know I do, Scarlett said, stepping closer. From the moment I saw you across that room, looking at me like I wasn't untouchable, like I was just a woman you found attractive. Do you have any idea how rare that is? Then let me make something clear, Jagger said, his hand coming up to cup her face. I don't care about your money. I don't care about your company or your reputation. Right now, all I care about is you. The woman standing in front of me who's brave enough to admit she wants something. And what do you want? Scarlett whispered. You, Jagger said simply, if you're sure this is what you want. Because once I start, I'm not the kind of man who does anything halfway. Scarlett's answer was to close the distance between them, her lips meeting his in a kiss that was hungry, desperate, full of months or maybe years of pent-up loneliness from both of them. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Scarlett smiled. That was definitely more than 5 minutes. You win the bet. What do I win? Jagger asked, though he already knew. Me, Scarlett said. All night if you want it. My penthouse is 10 minutes from here. My bed is significantly more comfortable than this balcony. And I promise you, Jagger Holt, I will make this a night you never forget. I have to tell my sister I'm leaving, Jagger said. And be clear, this isn't just physical for me. I don't do casual, even for one night. Then let's see where one night leads, Scarlett said, taking his hand. I have a feeling it might lead somewhere neither of us expects. Scarlett's penthouse was everything Jagger expected. Floor-to-ceiling windows, expensive art, luxury in every detail. But what surprised him was how lived-in it felt. Books scattered everywhere, a coffee mug on the counter, a blanket thrown over the couch. This wasn't just a showpiece. Someone actually lived here. You look surprised, Scarlett observed, pouring them both wine. I expected more. Sterile, Jagger admitted. This feels like a home. Because it is, Scarlett said. I might be a billionaire, but I'm also a person who reads before bed and forgets to put away her coffee cups. Shocking, I know. Jagger took the wine she offered. Tell me more. About the real Scarlett Ashcroft. That's not what most men want when they come back to my place, Scarlett said, sitting beside him on the couch. Close, but not touching. Giving him space to back out if he wanted. I'm not most men, Jagger said. And I meant what I said. I don't do casual, so if this is just about physical attraction, we should stop now. What if it's not? Scarlett asked quietly. What if I looked at you tonight and saw something I haven't seen in years? A man who doesn't want anything from me except me. A man who's been through loss and came out the other side still capable of feeling. A man who called my bluff about being untouchable and made me want to be touched. Jagger set down his wine and turned to face her fully. I have a 6-year-old son. His name is Mason, and he's my whole world. Any woman in my life has to understand that he comes first, always. I would expect nothing less, Scarlett said. I've never wanted children, but I respect devotion to family. It's actually incredibly attractive. I work long hours at the garage. I'm not rich. I can't take you to fancy restaurants or buy you expensive things. Everything I have goes to making sure Mason has a good life. I have enough money for both of us, Scarlett said. What I don't have is someone who sees me as a person instead of a bank account. That's worth more than any expensive gift. Then let's be clear about what this is, Jagger said. Tonight could be just tonight, or it could be the start of something. But I need to know you're open to the possibility of something real. Because the way you're looking at me right now, I could fall for you hard, and I don't want to do that if you're just looking for a distraction. Scarlett was quiet for a long moment, her green eyes searching his face. I've spent years keeping everyone at arm's length, telling myself I didn't need connection or intimacy or anything but my company. But tonight, talking to you, I realized I was lying to myself. I do want something real. I'm just terrified I've forgotten how to have it. And then we'll figure it out together, Jagger said, pulling her closer. No expectations, no pressure, just two people seeing where this goes. That sounds terrifying, Scarlett admitted. Good terrifying or bad terrifying? Good, she whispered. Definitely good. When Jagger kissed her this time, it was slower, deeper, full of promise and possibility. And when Scarlett led him to her bedroom, when they spent the night discovering each other in ways that went far beyond physical, talking between touches, sharing secrets in the darkness, finding connection they'd both been missing, it felt like something shifting fundamentally in both their lives. The next morning, Jagger woke to sunlight streaming through unfamiliar windows, and Scarlett curled against his side, her auburn hair spilling across his chest. I need to pick up Mason in 2 hours, he said quietly when she stirred. Then we have 2 hours, Scarlett said, tilting her face up to kiss him. Tell me about him. About Mason. So Jagger did. He told her about his son's obsession with dinosaurs, his habit of naming every bug he found, his devastating loss of his mother that he was still processing at 6 years old. He showed her photos on his phone, his love evident in every word. He's beautiful, Scarlett said, studying a picture of Mason covered in mud and grinning. He looks like you. He's my whole world, Jagger said, which is why I need to be upfront. Dating me means dealing with a package deal, and I understand if that's too complicated for someone like you. Someone like me, Scarlett repeated, eyebrows raised. A billionaire CEO who probably has no interest in dating a mechanic with a kid, Jagger clarified. Scarlett sat up, pulling the sheet around herself. Let me tell you what I see when I look at you, Jagger. I see a man who's strong enough to be vulnerable, who's not intimidated by successful women, who can handle me at my most challenging and doesn't run away, who's devoted to his son in a way that makes my heart ache. That's not complicated. That's exactly what I want. Even though I can't keep up with your lifestyle? Jagger asked. I can't jet off to Paris on a whim or attend charity galas every week. I don't want you to, Scarlett said. I want you to teach me how to be normal, how to have dinner at home instead of fancy restaurants, how to spend weekends doing regular things instead of networking events, how to be part of something real instead of just acquiring more companies and money I don't need. That sounds like you're looking for more than one night, Jagger observed. I am, Scarlett admitted. If you are, I know it's fast. I know we barely know each other. But I haven't felt this alive in years, and I don't want to let that go because it's unconventional. Jagger pulled her back down beside him. Then let's do this. Slowly. You meet Mason when we're both ready. We figure out how a mechanic and a billionaire navigate dating. We take it one day at a time. I can do that, Scarlett said. Though I should warn you, I'm used to getting what I want, and I want you. Then you'll have me, Jagger said. But on one condition. What's that? You let me take you on a real date, not some fancy charity event. A real date where I pick you up, take you somewhere meaningful, and we just enjoy being together. Scarlett smiled. I'd like that. Though I should warn you, I've never been on a real date in my life. Then I'll make it memorable, Jagger promised. 3 months later, Scarlett sat cross-legged on the floor of Jagger's garage apartment, building Lego dinosaurs with Mason, while Jagger cooked dinner in the tiny kitchen. It was so far from her penthouse, from her usual life, that it should have felt wrong. Instead, it felt perfect. Miss Scarlett, you're doing the tail wrong, Mason informed her seriously. Velociraptors had longer tails. You're absolutely right, Scarlett said, adjusting the Lego pieces. Thank you for the correction. Daddy says you're really smart about business, Mason continued. Are you smart about dinosaurs too? Not as smart as you, Scarlett admitted. But I'm learning. Good, Mason said. Because if you're going to be Daddy's girlfriend, you got to know about important stuff like dinosaurs. Scarlett's eyes met Jagger's across the room. He smiled, and she felt her heart swell with an emotion she'd never expected to feel. Contentment. Not from acquiring another company or closing another deal, but from sitting on the floor with a 6-year-old who was teaching her about dinosaurs while the man she was falling for made spaghetti in a kitchen that was smaller than her closet. I think I'm falling in love with you, she told Jagger later, after Mason was asleep and they sat together on his worn couch. I know I'm in love with you, Jagger replied. Have been since that first night. When you let me see the real you, not the untouchable billionaire, but the woman who was lonely and brave enough to admit it. I never expected this, Scarlett admitted. When I made that bet, I thought it was just going to be one night. A distraction from the boredom. Instead, I found everything I didn't know I was missing. A mechanic and his dinosaur-obsessed son, Jagger teased. A family, Scarlett corrected. A real life. A reason to leave work at reasonable hours and care about something other than profit margins. A year after that night, Jagger proposed, not at a fancy restaurant or some elaborate public gesture, but quietly, in his garage apartment, with Mason as his enthusiastic accomplice. Will you marry us? Mason asked, holding out the ring box with ceremony. Because Daddy says he loves you and I love you and we want you to be family for real. Scarlett, who'd never cried at board meetings or acquisition negotiations, felt tears streaming down her face. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Their wedding was small, just close friends and family. But what Scarlett remembered most was the moment she became not just a wife, but a mother. When Mason had asked if he could call her Mom, when she'd said yes through happy tears, when this little boy who'd lost his mother chose to let her into his heart. "Remember when you bet me I couldn't last 5 minutes with you?" Jagger asked, as they danced at their reception, Mason spinning between them. "I remember thinking you'd be fun for one night," Scarlett admitted. "Instead, you gave me a lifetime." "You won that bet," Jagger said. "But I won the prize. You, Mason, this family, it's everything I never thought I'd have again after Sarah died." "And you gave me something I never thought I wanted," Scarlett said. "A home. Not a penthouse, but a real home with people who love me for me, not my money. Though the money does help pay for Mason's college fund," Jagger teased. "And your new garage expansion," Scarlett countered. "And that ridiculous dinosaur collection Mason insisted on." "We're a good team," Jagger said. "The best," Scarlett agreed. And as they danced, surrounded by family, Scarlett thought about that night at the charity gala when she'd been so bored, so lonely, that she'd made a reckless bet with a stranger. She'd bet he couldn't last 5 minutes with her. He'd stayed all night, and then every night after. And that, Scarlett thought, was the best bet she'd ever made. And that's where our story ends today. What did you think? Did Scarlett and Jagger's passionate bet turned forever love touch your heart? Let us know in the comments what your favorite moment was. If you enjoyed this story, we have so many more waiting for you. Check out our playlist for more heartwarming romance tales that will make you believe in love all over again. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. Your support means everything to us. Until next time, keep believing in love, keep believing in second chances, and remember, the best stories are the ones that remind us we all deserve our happily ever after. See you in the next story.